You're listening to the Collected Podcast, bringing you inspiration and resources to help you discover and live from your truest self. Follow along on social media at Collected Workshops, and be sure to visit thecollectedpodcast.com for show notes and to learn more. The Collected Podcast is sponsored by Clean Juice, a certified organic nutrition and wellness bar with more than 100 locations in development in 16 states. Learn more at cleanjuice.com.
Welcome to episode 41 of the Collected Podcast. I'm Tia McNelly.
I'm Michaela Hooper.
And I'm Jess Biondo. And today we are so excited to welcome Demi-Leigh Nel-Peters onto the podcast. She was Miss South Africa 2017, and then just 6 months later won the title of Miss Universe.
In the midst of all of that, she was able to receive and offer to other women incredible self-defense training through Unbreakable, which is a movement that is reaching women all over the world. She also shares in this episode a story of a horrific act of violence against her and how she made it through that miraculously.
So enjoy our episode with Demi Nel-Peters.
Hey, Demi, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me. It is such an honor for me to be on your show. And as I mentioned earlier, I haven't done a podcast in a little bit. So very excited to be here.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. I was wondering if you could start by sharing with our listeners a little bit about your background and history and what happened in your life to get you on this journey with starting Unbreakable.
Right. I graduated from college, and I always knew that I wanted to enter Miss South Africa. And I mean, it's different in every country. In my country where I'm from, you know, it's more of a role as being an ambassador for your country. It's pretty prestigious. You have a lot of young women looking up to you. I remember when I was a 7-year-old girl going to school to write a math test, I was devastated that I got like 80% because I was like, no, Mom, Miss South Africa would get 100% for this test. And, you know, so I, as a little girl growing up, I've always been inspired by the amazing work that former Miss South Africas have done, and, you know, that all of them have achieved so much and done so much and been such a great representative for our country. And I always knew that, you know, I might not necessarily want to wear the crown and the sash or have the title, but that's the kind of woman I want to be. Mm. And that made me enter Miss South Africa. And on my first time entering, I won. And leading up to the competition, we were how many? I think 12 finalists. And one day, the Miss South Africa organization presented a workshop to us with experts in the field on specifically women empowerment and self-defense and how to get away and stay away from harmful and unwanted situations. And, you know, I completed the course with all 11 other ladies. And a couple months later, my dad was very on top of it with sending me to safety driving courses. And that goes from anything to, you know, should your brakes fail or should your, you know, you stand next to a road, what to do, who to call.
Wow.
And one of the things that they ran through was, you know, what to do if you get carjacked, or in South Africa, we call it hijacked. And believe it or not, 3 months later, after winning Miss South Africa, I was all dressed up, black cocktail dress, hair all curled, you know, the pin curls, 6-inch heels. I drove about 2 blocks from my apartment at the time and to the event that I was attending. I stopped at a red traffic light, and before I knew it, I had 5 men surrounding my car with guns pointed to my head, and basically, you know, I realized it was all such a blur, but I realized I was being carjacked. Mm-hmm. My first instinct was to surrender, to give the car to them. I mean, it's all materialistic. It can be replaced. Sure. It's just not worth it to, you know, fight back for something that's materialistic. So I completely surrendered, put up my hands, got out of the car. And when I tried running away, the guy on my side of the car grabbed me, pulled me back, pushed me into the car, trying to shove me over to the passenger seat. And like, I just remember him like yelling, like, get in, you're going with us. And in that moment, like, I realized I was either going to be shot or I was going to be taken men to an unknown destination where I probably would never be found again.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that the only option I had was to try and fight back. And I did, and I used the skills that I was taught in these numerous, women empowerment workshops that I attended, and that I was so grateful for. And I remember two things in that moment. The only two things that were clear to me was, don't go to the second destination, because whatever they're willing to do to you on a big avenue right next to a big shopping center, it's not going to get any better somewhere downtown in a neglected neighborhood with 10 other of their friends. And the second thing that I remembered was that the throat is such a lethal place to hit somebody. I mean, it's really dangerous. So please do not ever try this on anyone unless your life is in a really, really threatening situation. But I remember that I was taught that in the self-defense workshop, and I punched the guy as hard as I could in his throat. I managed to shove him off me and pull myself back up and get out of the car.
Oh my God.
And I ran, and I just remember running into cars. It was peak hour traffic, so luckily the traffic was moving slowly. It was at a traffic light, so I guess the light must have just turned green because the cars were moving, and I managed to run away. But the worst part was, guys, I was banging on probably 30, 40 car windows. I ran past the next traffic light, which was at least 150 feet. I'm not sure. I go in meters and kilometers. So you'll need to do the math.
Yeah.
But ran, and that was in 6-inch yield, so it's not like I was very fast, but banging on 30, 40 car windows. I mean, it was males, females, families, single mothers, single fathers in the cars. Nobody would stop for me, not one single person. And, people's windows were open. I was yelling, I've been hijacked, I've been carjacked, please help me. And, I was very well groomed, very well dressed, and definitely not a threat to anyone. And just absolutely nobody would stop me. And that was so horrifying, because I think out of the whole situation, that was the saddest part out of all of it. And I eventually, after a while, a young girl, she was 19 years old, younger than me, she stopped and she helped me, and she let me into her car and took me to a safe place and helped me connect with my, the people around me, family members. And I was just so grateful for her. It was really like she was just my guardian angel, and completely, irrelevant, but I used her phone to make a phone call, and the person who answered saying Demi, and I was like, well, what? How do they know? And when I went back onto my friend's phone record, her number was exactly identical to my cell phone number. Our last two digits were different. How crazy? So anyway, not that that's relevant at all, but I was so grateful for her, and so grateful for her being so courageous and, stepping into that situation. And that same evening, my hometown where my mom lives were burning down due to forest fires, and it just the winds were crazy, and it got completely out of hand. Long story short, the next morning we already scheduled it the day before because of the fires, and not knowing that the hijack would happen, I was on a radio show to raise funds for my hometown, South Sedgefield in South Africa. And so many people phoned and heard about the carjack, and so many moms reached out saying that they want to have their daughters go through the same training that I was in, go through the same workshops, and asking me to introduce them to the specialist that I had the great honor of working with, and just the whole thing just snowballed. And within 3 months, I reached over 3,000 females all over South Africa, moms, daughters, grandkids, grandmas, and I partnered with the specialists that presented their workshops to me, prior to this incident, and it just kind of, completely snowballed into something that I never expected. I, reached so many women, and so the best part out of all of it was the woman that came up to me after I presented a workshop to them saying, Demi, because of your willingness to share what happened to you, for the first time in my life, I can tell my mom what happened to me.
Oh, wow.
For the first time, I have the courage to step up. For the first time in my life, I don't feel like this was my fault.
Oh, man.
And please understand me correctly. I never, ever feel that a woman puts herself in a bad situation. It's nothing that a woman does should cause any harm to her.
That's so true.
I lost track of my points, but
no, that's a great point.
Women so easily feel that it's because of something that they did that something bad happened to them. It's because of something they said or because of something they wore that something bad happened to them, and that should never ever be the case.
Amen.
So I was just that, even just having one girl be able to go and seek help, to go and see a therapist, to go and work through whatever situation she was through, even if it just helped one young girl, that already is very, very just valuable to me and makes all of this so worthwhile. So,
Absolutely.
And then I went on and I won Miss Universe, and I was able to take Unbreakable to different countries. I was so fortunate to be able to meet with an amazing group of women in Mexico and share my experience and, my knowledge with them, and same in Indonesia. So all over the United States, we had a whole East Coast tour. I was able to work with women's shelters in Las Vegas, abuse centers. So that's just been really wonderful. And at the moment, Unbreakable is at a little bit of a standstill because we're working at just expanding it. And, it's post Miss South Africa's post Miss Universe. And this wasn't just a once-off. It was definitely something that I've grown passionate about and something that I never even knew I would be passionate about.
Yeah.
So it's incredible how I had a quote the other day, how we make the plans, but God laughs because his plans are always better and bigger.
True. That's a really great point. And it makes me wonder if along the way, as you've been kind of saying yes to God as he opens doors and lays the path out before you, if there have been any surprising doors that have been opened.
Oh, so many. I think Unbreakable has totally been a very, very big one of them.
Sure.
I studied business management and entrepreneurship, and that was my major that I graduated with. And my goal was to empower young up-and-coming entrepreneurs, especially in rural areas in South Africa and in Africa. And that was what I was focused on. And it completely turned a whole different way, and that definitely wasn't out of my plans that I made, or and I think how God just allowed me and gave me the opportunity to use a platform as a beauty queen that can so easily be stereotyped for everything that it's not.
Sure.
To make a real difference in the lives of so many women, and to help empower so many women, to reach so many women, and I think that was definitely another door that was opened that I never saw coming. So
that's great.
I think it's amazing how an open door for you is an open door for somebody else. Like with Unbreakable, you stepped into something that, like you said, was a surprise. And then it was an open door for so many other women to share their story.
And find healing.
That's so true.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So true.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So up to now, what would you say is your favorite project that you've worked on through all these opportunities?
I as Miss Universe, I was so fortunate to work with various organizations. One of them being Smile Train. They're an organization that's present in 85 countries. They basically work to fix kids with cleft lip and palate, to provide them surgeries, to be able to undergo the operations. And one of my favorites experiences were in Mexico. I think we were in Mexico City, and I was able to sit in with one of the operations, and I was there the whole way prior to the operation, during the operation, post operation, and just to see, what a big difference they made in this little 8-month-old baby's life, and how she's going to be able to develop talking like any other kid would that was born without cleft lip and palate. So it's wonderful working with them, and I'm still continuing my work with them. They have actually just branched out to South Africa, which I'm really excited about.
That's awesome.
There's just something special about homeland.
Sure.
If you've traveled, I'm sure you guys would resonate with that. It's
Definitely.
like since moving to the States, whenever you hear Africa or South Africa, you just get so excited, and it's like an excitement you've never felt before. So
that's awesome.
I might be a little biased, but
yeah, that's okay.
Demi, did you know that our charitable partner is Flourish Kenya, based in rural Kenya? So Africa is very close to our hearts as well. I've been working in that area for about a decade now.
Oh, that's incredible. I have been Kenya is, it's home ground to me because it's, it's Africa.
Yes.
And I have not been to Kenya. So
you better come along.
It's very, very on top of my list. So
awesome.
You never know. Yeah. Maybe I'll join you next time.
I would love that.
Please
do. That would be so anti-violence, anti-rape training is something that we desperately need there.
Right.
So who knows? We'll have to have a side conversation, Demi.
I'm definitely very keen.
Cool.
So, yeah. And something else that I think that God also just really opened a door for is my fiance has a foundation that has different ministries, and one of the ministries are working with people and children with special needs and disabilities, and that's something that I also love sharing with you. That's essentially how we met. I have a little sister, or had a little sister with special needs, and Tim and I met through the foundation, through not me, but my 13-year-old sister and my family that were invited to Night to Shine. So, that's also just another way that God works and bringing people together. And I really look forward to help growing that ministry. And that's obviously something that's very close to my heart. My sister passed away 2 months ago on the 4th of May.
So sorry.
And we are definitely so sad to lose her and to not have her with us. But once again, we just, hold on to the hope that we will get to see her again one day and be reunited with her. Yeah. And that she's at ultimate peace and just in the best possible place that she can be in. So
that's right.
That's definitely another way God opens doors and bring people together, that you would just never be able to do this on your own.
We are so excited to continue to be sponsored by Clean Juice.
Yes, we're grateful for their confidence in Collected and in this podcast. And Clean Juice really is such a great way to grab something quick and healthy and nourishing when you're on the go. I love to order through the app because I also get rewards.
Ooh, tell me about the rewards.
Well, let's see. Just recently, I got a $5 reward. And in fact, when you download the app and use it for the first time, you automatically get a $5 reward the first time you order.
Whoa, that's such a great deal.
It really is.
And it's super convenient.
It is.
So if you're on the go, which a lot of us are.
Yep.
And you just need to order a quick drink, pick it up as fast as you can. They are ready, it's efficient, and they amaze me.
So go out and grab yourself a Clean Juice.
Download the app, find a Clean Juice near you. It sounds like you have been on this incredible adventure of God just opening surprising doors. Has there ever been a time through it all where you've questioned the path you're on? And if so, how did you wrestle through that?
Oh, 100%. And to be very honest with you, I think I'm now more than ever, I'm right now, I'm on that path. Right now, I am, I feel like I'm a college student that just got out of college, just graduated and has no idea where to go. So I've had these 2 incredible years studied, had everything planned out. Won Miss South Africa. It was the most amazing 6 months of my life. Won Miss Universe, another incredible 13 months of my life. And now that I'm done with that, it's kind of like starting all over completely from scratch. And it's definitely made me very anxious because, it's like you want to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. And you have this incredible platform, but to me, it's so important to do things the right way from the start, instead of just jumping into anything. So
that's good. I love that.
So yeah, I definitely very much on that road right now, figuring it out. Moved back to New York City after traveling for the first couple months of this year, and I'm back here. I have signed with a wonderful agency that I love working with, and they've been so incredible and so generous to me. So I'm very grateful for them, and I think that was another part of it. Just making sure that I always say that like your agents represent you; they're an extension of who you are, and just really praying about who the right people were to work with, and that God would just send them into my life and guide me, and He totally did. And I'm so grateful for them, and so happy to be working with them. So
that's great.
So yeah, we'll see where the next half of this year takes me.
Thank you so much for your honesty in that.
Yeah.
Because you do have this huge platform and you've done so many incredible things and you continue to, but I think it's so powerful for people to hear that you also go through seasons of not knowing what's next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all go through that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And, I get onto Instagram and you have one pretty picture that you post and so many girls hold on to that. And so many girls think, oh, you have just having the most incredible life. And, everything just falls into your lap and everything just works out. And, but it's really not the case. Now is when the hard work starts. And, And not a lot of people see that. And I think, I've been guilty of that, where I've looked up to role models and, thought that, they're so successful. They, look at where they are. It's so wonderful, and hoping I would one day follow in their footsteps, and then realizing, they've been working at this for 16 years or plus, So, and we only see the little tip of the iceberg, but we don't always see everything else that goes into it. We don't see the no's, the maybes that don't realize them. We don't see those things. We don't see the excitement that that just dies down about a project that didn't work out, or this or that, or people that don't get back to you on emails, or it really is. It's as hard for everyone as it. It's as hard for me as it is for anyone else. So, I just definitely want to be honest about that.
Yeah. I've definitely heard it said, like, don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10 or 12 or
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I love that quote. So very accurate. Very, very accurate. This whole process has made me really realize what patience means and how to have patience. So I'm a very go, don't stop kind of person. And when you have to take a step back and wait for answers and wait for people to get back to you, and it really does teach you a lot of patience. And I must say something else that's this year that's just in such another great God story is, and I think for the first time in my life, really, really prayed about something so hard and for so long. And, I've prayed for things before, but it's never been as intense as the specific opportunity was. And I had an opportunity to work with a brand earlier this year, and I ended up not turning it down, but not accepting it purely because I wasn't 100% convicted that this was the right collaboration for myself. And I spoke to my agent, and she was so respectful about it, and she just completely, left it. She never pursued the brand. She never sent out my picture, my bio, nothing.
Wow.
And I continued praying about it, continued speaking to my fiance about it, continued seeking counsel about it, and just, asking so many people what to do, what do they think is the right way forward, and just not getting any answers, and just, praying to God for clarity. Have you ever just you just want to know, yes or no?
Yeah.
And,
Something.
Oh, yeah.
right? Just give me a sign, write it on we have these little, sugar sachets in South Africa called Ulets, and at the back of them are always, these really inspirational quotes. So I'm like, can I just not go to a coffee shop in South Africa and get a little sugar sachet and get my answer?
That's so funny.
Oh man.
It's interesting. Sometimes God does speak through things like that. I remember when I was first starting into my writing career, it was really the week I had decided to go for it. My husband and I went for sushi, and they had fortune cookies. And I'm not joking. The fortune said, "You will become an accomplished writer." And I was like,
oh, wow.
Okay, Lord.
I'll take it.
I'll take that. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
I know. I am very, very careful of those things, though. So,
yes, for sure.
Very, definitely very careful of them. But yes, I mean,
yes.
Coincidence much?
Exactly. Exactly.
And model of the story, about a month ago, I got a phone call, and my agent was like, "You won't believe it, but I have not had one word of communication with this brand, regarding you." And they phoned the agency, and of all the girls in the agency, they picked 2 girls they want to meet, and guess who's one of them?
Wow.
So, it was, I just completely left it in the Lord's hands, and just completely, I just left it, ignored it. And, it was so amazing to really, for the first time in my life, see how God just comes through for you. And if you really trust him and really believe in him, how he's going to come through, and he's going to show you, and he's going to show you what's right for you.
Wow.
And not just what's right for you, but what's on his plan for your life.
That's so good. Yeah.
That's been incredible. So many life lessons the past couple of months. And, that would also not have happened if I just took a step back and had patience with the process. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, there's something really beautiful about not rushing the process.
Yes.
And to me, that story is so evident of you, just like you said, not rushing, being patient, and allowing God to do what God can do.
Yes. And I think something that led me or helped me, and that might be valuable to your listeners, excuse me. I started a prayer challenge, or it's more of a devotional, but it teaches you. It's called the Draw the Circle, and it's a 40-day prayer challenge by Mark Batterson. I don't know if you've heard of the book
Circle Maker. Yeah,
he is. He's the author of The Circle Maker. That might be more. More. Might know about. Sorry.
Yeah,
we've
so
definitely studied the book, read the book for sure.
So, and it's a 40-day prayer challenge with, it's basically a devotional, and it's been so helpful to read through it and go through it every day. And I might have skipped a couple days, but definitely on this, as we all do, on this prayer challenge has helped me so much with just having patience and just trusting the Lord. And it's really taught me how to really pray to the Lord. And I think as I grow and as I grow older, your relationship with God also grows, and it just evolves into how I think in one of your questions you sent me, you asked how God became, can't remember how you stated it, but more real than just an idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this book has really helped me so much with that, with the way that we speak to the Lord, with the way that we ask him things, with
That's
so
great.
Hopefully your listeners would find some advice from it.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll definitely put a link to that in the show notes so that they can access that. That is awesome. Thank you so much for offering that really practical tool. That's a great resource.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
We're almost out of time, but Demi, before we go, I wondered if you could share a final word of wisdom for any of our listeners who might be in that season of waiting or seeking after the Lord for something. Just maybe one final thought from your heart for them.
Yeah, I wish I was kind of through the season so that I can have a more perspective view on it and maybe share a bit more wisdom. But I think from my side, it's I feel like some days you're paddling water and other days you're just floating on a pretty big glitzy unicorn float, this pretty pool noodle thing. And there's so many ups and downs, and it's hard and it's tough, and you don't know the right answers, and there's so much change going on in your life, and just it's okay. At the end of the day, you're 24 years old. You're gonna figure it out. It's you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna just trust the Lord, and He's totally opened up every single door, every single time that I have just thought, well, I really don't know which way to go now. The Lord just steps in and He takes over, and it's like if you allow Him to do that, if you just hand over all your uncertainties and all your worries to Him, he does take care of it. And I'm not saying that you should stop working or that you should stop being persistent and stop being goal driven and just give everything over, but really giving over that trust to the Lord has helped me so much. And you know what, when all else fails, just breathe, have a great pint of ice cream, and tomorrow is going to be another day.
That's great.
And what, sometimes I feel like just sleeping on things helps so much, and just to really think through stuff and pray through stuff and just be calm about it.
That's good.
Has helped me so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Oh, Demi, thank you so much for being on our show. We just adore you and have loved hearing your story.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much again for the invite. I really appreciate it. And I so wish this was in person and not just over the phone.
Next time.
Same.
Thank you. Next time.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys.
Guys, something that seemed so apparent to me in our conversation with Demi is her submission to the Holy Spirit. That she is serious in her walk with Christ. And I just feel like it oozes into everything that she does and says. And I love hearing about, you don't get those glimpses for people that are kind of in the spotlight. You don't get the glimpses of the behind the scenes everyday walk like she was talking about with the devotion that she's doing with her friends. But I noticed she like almost pulled back when I mentioned a fortune cookie, because we're actually very much the same in that I don't put any stake in anything that is not of the Lord or that people think of in a superstitious manner. Those kinds of things are not something I normally pay attention to, but the coincidence seemed like confirmation and encouragement from the Lord in that moment. And it just goes to show He can use whatever He wants. But I respected the fact that she was like, I'm careful with anything that could open a door.
Yeah.
That is not from the Lord. So I thought that was something that I really admired.
And when she was talking about, seeking a yes or a no from the Lord and having to be patient in that, I recently was praying about something where I just wanted a yes or a no. Like, Lord, am I on the right path? What is going on? And I was sitting by a lake, and it was a calm, like perfect evening. And when I prayed that, I spoke that out loud, like, Lord, is this the direction you want me on? All of a sudden, this wind blew up out of nowhere. The birds are chirping in the trees. The chimes start going crazy. And, it was this moment of like, okay, God, that could be a yes or a no. That's still not an answer. But I felt like He was saying to me, I am here.
Yeah.
The yes or the no doesn't matter right now.
That's good.
All you need is my presence.
Yeah.
And that is enough.
That's so good.
And so as Demi was speaking to, today, that came to mind as just another reminder of waiting is okay, and the Lord will reveal himself in time. But even if he hasn't given you that clear direction yet, he is still with you, and he is still working on our behalves. And so I just wanted to share that to encourage someone.
Yeah,
That's really good.
I love that throughout her interview, she would go back to, Lord, what do you want? What are you saying? What are you, wanting me to do in this situation? And she said something about doing things the right way from the start. And I was like, wow, like one of the things that was so clear to me is that she seeks the Lord. And if we want, that's a great way to do something like from the start to do it right is to seek the Lord.
Yeah.
And so that just really encouraged me and challenged me just in the different things that I'm navigating to be like, okay, am I starting with that? Like, am I seeking him first? And like you said, Jess, there wasn't a lightning bolt, yes or no, in that moment, but it was him saying, I'm here. And I think acknowledging his presence, that is one way, doing it right from the start. And that just really I felt like the Lord highlighted that to me in this interview. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we really hope you enjoyed our interview with Miss Universe, Demi Nel-Peters. What a delightful woman. Make sure that you share this episode. Make sure you rate, review. We'd love to hear from you at hello@collectedworkshops.com if there's anything you want to share, any questions you have, or anything that we can pray for you about. So be in touch. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to the Collected Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you like what you've heard, we'd love it if you would help spread the word. Check back here for weekly episodes dropping every Thursday. You can follow Collected on social media at Collected Workshops. Find the Collected Podcast on Patreon at patreon.com/The Collected Podcast. That's PATREON. Become a patron for as little as $1 a month to gain access to bonus content, early bird ticket sales, exclusive contests, and more. You can also find Tia at Tia McNelly Notes, Jess at Sprezza Foundry, and Michaela at The Creative Space NC. Collected proudly supports and partners with Flourish Kenya, a nonprofit working to prevent and support unplanned adolescent pregnancy in rural Kenya. Learn more at flourishkenya.org. Support for the Collected Podcast is provided by Clean Juice. Learn more at cleanjuice.com and be sure to check out their lifestyle arm at wellhappyandkind.com. Podcast recorded by Jacob Early. Music by Asaph Alon.